Hey, I'm Luca.
I'm Alex.
So we finally came to an end of this journey. It went very fast, but it was very intense. And so this is a journey for our Cal Recruit app. And so we started. How we started? Like we're both very passionate about sports. I myself. A water polo player. I play Cal here, and I'm also an Olympian. And Alex
Yeah.
played in
I
high
played
school
high school soccer and I did wrestling high school, so very passionate.
So we just, from our videos at the beginning of the year, we just found it ourselves and we decided to team up because we have a common interest. And so being in school and being athletes, we understood what the struggles are for a player going through the recruiting process. We then analyzed that a lot of high school athletes and college coaches struggle many times to get together, to get in contact and share their information, share their content information, their stats, their highlights, or whatever it might be. So we decided that it was fair to give the same opportunity to every athlete, not only the elite athletes that can have a lot of scholarship, a lot of offers from many colleges, to get in contact with these schools. Therefore, we tested, we surveyed, and we interviewed different high school athletes and also college coaches to see what are their struggles going through the recruiting process. They told us it was mostly a financial struggle because high school athletes couldn't go on recruiting trips, or they're just limited to a very limited number of colleges which were in their area. So they couldn't maybe go on the East Coast if are from California. That's an example. And college coaches, they couldn't stay competitive with the elite programs because they didn't have enough financial strength to go on recruiting trips and discover players that could perfectly fit their programs. But without financial strength for both parties, it was very hard to connect for them. And so we decided we test, and we find out that exactly both these parties had very difficulties going through the recruiting process, and we had a very hard pivot during during our journey. We wanted to, at the same time, make the athletes better off, but we wanted to make some profit as well. So we decided that we created an app that had a premium version and a normal version. The normal version included just stats, so that stats and basic information, content information, so that high school athletes and college coaches could share. And a premium version was for those even more interested athletes that want to have highlights and videos about their skills, so that coaches can recruit them and scout them even more. So that's how we were thinking about making more profit, because the players said they would pay extra $10 from the normal version.
Yeah. So kind of like the results from this were, we had positive reviews about this idea of a premium and like a regular version, but for the most part, high school athletes were still kind of skeptical about paying for an app just to get recruited. They had no guarantee that they were going to get recruited, and it was just kind of a struggle for them to commit to paying money for this. Meanwhile, coaches were very positive. They were very interested in still the app and just having a version that's cheaper for athletes. So kind of where we went from here after testing it out and doing this premium and regular version was that we don't think it's best for students to pay at all. So we decided that what we wanted to focus on here was garnering partnerships with the local high school athletic programs. So we started to reach out to local high schools and see what their interests were, and kind of see if they would be interested in just purchasing a school-wide membership for the entire school, so that way every athlete at that school will be able to access this app and use its features, get recruited, talk to coaches and stuff like that. And that way, number one, it would be better for generating revenue, because instead of having to cater to every individual student at the high school, we would now be getting an entire high school at once. And number two, it's better for exposure, because now instead of just a few members who are super into recruiting and like super into just figuring everything out. Now every student has access, and it just gives us more brand recognition. So yeah, that was kind of like just our final product, and then we just started. From now, we're just starting to focus on that. Our current struggles are that even though we have a lot of positive feedback, especially from athletes, it's just still tough to know if they're really on board and if they're really going to be a big part and want to put money into this app. After we released our MVP, a lot of students and high school athletes filled it out. We sent it to high schools all over California and San Francisco and Berkeley and San Diego, and we got a lot of positive response, but it's tough to see if whether or not they're actually going to pay for it once it comes out. Yeah, hopefully they do. I think coaches are very more on board and more willing to pay. They have the financial resources of the program, especially college coaches. And also coding and designing a website was very difficult of this scale. So yeah, it's a little difficult. So from here on out, we're starting to work with local high schools. We're trying to get deals and see if they want to work on a partnership, and where they suggest something to add to the app, and we try to work with them. And then eventually we want to branch out and develop to high schools all over the country. And we're trying to fine tune the app, work on its development, its structure, input and output coding, and so we're just trying to make sure everything runs smoothly. And that's about it.
If you have a son, nephew, needs to go to
anyone
college,
who wants to get recruited, definitely use this app.
definitely contact us.
All right, thank you.